Your Honor, they bringing my client in here every week for nothing. They're wasting their time.
He should be locked up. He should be behind
My
bars.
client is a family man. They keep bringing him up here every week. What's going on
Have
here?
you heard what you did to women and children?
One more outburst like that, and you will all go to jail.
I apologize, Your Honor.
I apologize, Your Honor.
Where's she at? Yo, she in the crib.
You wanna sit more on my living room floor, play Nintendo with seasoning low. Pick up my phone, say Papa not home. Sex all night, bad head in the morning. Spin my beat, smoke all my weed. Tattoo on Tata, saying Big Papa. Now check it, you wanna be my main squeeze, baby? Don't you? You wanna give me what I need, baby? Won't you? Picture life as my wife, just think. Full left links, fat X and old links. Bracelets to match, conversation was all that. Showed you the safe combinations and all that. Guess you could say you's the one I trusted. Who would ever think that you would spread like mustard? Shit got hot, you sent feds to my spot. Took me to court, tried to take all I got. Another intricate plot, the bitch said I raped her. Damn, why she wanna stick me for my paper? My Moschino hole, my Versace hottie. Come to find out, you was fucking everybody. You knew about me, the fake ID. Cases in Virginia, body in DC. Whoa, always me, that's what I get for tricking.
They'll bet at $1 million.
Licking the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Disrespect my clique, my shit's imperial. Fuck around and made a milk box material. You feel me? Sucking dick, running your lips cause of you. I'm on some real fucker bitch shit. I know you're stupid, cream.
Fuck niggas, get money. Fuck bitches, get money. Fuck niggas, get money. Fuck bitches, get money. Fuck niggas, get money. Fuck bitches, get money. Fuck niggas, get money.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy Kos, and I am back again. Dang, man, it has been one hell of a week. I'm not sure. Oh, man, I'm not sure. Where do I even begin? All right, let's see. First off, this whole Kavanaugh nonsense, it is getting way out of hand. You know what? Let me take a stick at that. It is outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous that this is even a thing. This is To Kill a Mockingbird in real life. Yeah, this is a repeat of history. This is basically like Clarence Thomas 2.0. If you can't win, then just say this guy raped somebody. You know, no evidence whatsoever. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Everyone is seeing through the lies of this hoe. Everyone, like anyone with any sense, you know, is seeing like, yo, this is a really scummy tactic to bring out. This is a really scumbag move to do this, you know, and they do it all the time. When they win, oh yeah, it's okay. But like as soon as a Republican wins, then we have a witness to testify against this guy's character. You know, he's a serial rapist in high school. And are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And all these people come and say, no, this dude is a good guy. You guys are crazy. You guys are insane. This dude is a nice guy. You know. Oh no! Media doesn't want to cover that. Media doesn't want to cover Brett Kavanaugh's the positive eyewitnesses. No. They would rather the 30 or some odd friends from high school. No, they don't want to cover that. They want to cover this one broad who says, "Oh, you know, I'm such a little victim. I'm such a damsel in distress, and oh, you know, you should all just believe and listen and believe." Like, you know, I had one of my friends from childhood. call me out because I didn't just listen and believe to Dr. Ford like I'm some kind of mindless zombie. I can't think for myself. No, no, and this sets a precedent. I'm not gonna judge anyone with no evidence. This has been the greatest deluge of salt I've ever seen, ever. Like, I mean, they are still so salty about this 2016 election. They are so mad about it that they're gonna destroy this guy's character, his life, go after his family, just because he's a conservative, and they don't want to lose after they change the rules. They don't want to lose, so they're gonna try and delay the process through bullshit, absolute BS. And I'm just, it's amazing to me that people are like, oh well, she's completely credible, even though there's no evidence, even though there's no evidence anything happened, even though her only the what she said happened was minuscule, basically like oh, he tried to like make out with me at a party. Like, so are you gonna go to every freaking teenage party and be like, oh, you can't make, you guys are getting along, right? Oh, you can't make out with that girl. Like, no, like that just, thanks feminism for ruining the dynamic between men and women by ruining that dynamic attraction. Because now it's like, if you're at a party and you and this girl are feeling each other and you're like, let's go back to my place and blah blah blah. And now a guy is gonna be like, well, if it doesn't matter if she's attracted to me or not, if I'm attracted to her or not, if I even like approach her, she's gonna 35 years later, she's gonna come up with some bullshit saying that, oh, he raped me, at a party, even though we just exchanged glances or we just like kissed or something like that, and it didn't even go to the bedroom. It's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And any guy, especially Jeff Flake, that dude, just fuck that guy. I can't stand that guy. Dude has no balls whatsoever. No balls at all. And he is the most cucked Republican I've ever seen. And I don't want to lose my female voters, so I guess we can come to a compromise. I'll vote for for Kavanaugh, for Judge Kavanaugh, but maybe we should postpone it for a week, and then give the Democrats more time to come up with some more bullshit accusations. Give them more time, to do that. Jesus Christ, these people are freaking stupid and they don't learn. It's like they're afraid of success. And they're Republican in name only. It's an apt name. And I never really cared to Google search what Rhino stood for until the other day. And if anyone is a Rhino, it is Flake. Flaky Flake. And it just had me so pissed, just to see how many people, and I went online and I'm like, because I went to an extremely feminist college, a liberal college, and it's just like in Mass, and it's just like, oh my god, it's all the hoes that you see, you're like, oh yeah, I totally support Blazing Force. She's totally credible. Are the kind of hoes that would do this, that would come out 35 years later and say, he raped me. As soon as this dude gets famous, and as soon as something is happening. You think this wasn't political? Like, you really think this whole thing wasn't political? I remember when they were protesting outside in D.C. and they didn't even know who Trump selected yet, but they were just protesting just to be protesting, just so that they made like 3 different signs just to just to protest. It's so freaking retarded, it's just like, I don't understand how you could be so salty that you would assassinate someone's character. Uh, and they don't play fair. And the Republicans are just like, oh, they do, they do play fair, and they need Lindsey Graham. I got to give him props, called out the bullshit. You got to. If you don't, then they'll continue to con you. You're playing with snakes, man. I mean, come on. Like, and then Flake is just like, oh, like, let's extend it for a week. No, really, I don't want this to go on, because it legitimizes this bullshit, and it's just like, she has no evidence at all, and this sham of an investigation is gonna blow up in their faces. It's ridiculous, and it's a waste of time, and that's all they're looking for. Now, this whole coming up and saying, oh, well, her lawyer's trying to say, oh, well, we need more than a week. Like, no, ho, you don't make the demands here. Like, you're lucky that the FBI gives you any time of day. No, sorry. And all these feminists getting triggered. Me too. No, we don't just listen and believe. That's how men got lynched back in the 1800s, because some dumb hoe came up and said, oh, he raped me. Like, yeah, he raped me. When she got mad at some guy, oh yeah, he raped me. Yeah, some poor black dude got lynched. Yeah, because some dumb hoe was spiteful enough to lie on this guy. And it's just ridiculous. And it's shameful. They should be ashamed. Women get away with a lot of shit in society that men can't. And it's really sexist and abhorrent. They get away with a lot of shit. Women get, like, a lot of the times, they get a shorter sentence, than a man does for the same crime. That women get away with a lot. And this time, I really hope that justice prevails, because this cannot go on. It can't. Our entire justice system is trying to get. Why are you even giving these people ground to stand on? Why are you even trying to hear them out? No, you should have just shot it down, because this is obviously a political tactic. Unless you have agents in the Republican Party that really just want the Democrats to win in the midterms. I mean, want them to have momentum. It's like they don't want. It's like the only Republicans that want to win, they aren't present. I mean, it's like only half of them want to win, and the other half are just like and want to be competent, and the other half are just begging the Democrats to take the lead from them, because they're scared of being competent. It's ridiculous and retarded. I mean, this whole situation could have been avoided by Feinstein if they were really serious about it, which they're not. If they were really serious about it, the whole situation could have been avoided, 2 months ago, or however long she had the freaking emails or whatever, the claims by Ford. And it's ridiculous. She can't remember any details. She can't remember this, can't remember that. Oh, but she had one beer. And then Avenatti got trolled by 4chan, and this creepy porn lawyer, and that's what they call him. Avenatti getting trolled by 4chan out there. We see you, dog. You're trying to hide it now. Oh no, I didn't troll 4chan. No, I don't know what they're thinking. Like, dog, we saw the green text. We saw you on the news trying to hype yourself up. Like, yeah, we got evidence on Kavanaugh. Yeah, bro, Kavanaugh better be real scared, dog. Like talking all kinds of shit. Saw you talking all that nonsense for like at least a week, and then you got quiet real quick. Once it was revealed that it was all a con, that the con man got conned. Are you serious? Avenatti is an embarrassment. You know, and this whole saga is just stupid, and they need to stop legitimizing these people. I mean, who isn't talking about this? You know, anyway, sorry to burden you guys with politics. You know, I know, you know, but it's just like, it's too much. You know, it's like I have to talk about it because it's just, yeah. If that happened to me, what if it almost, you know, happened to me? It can happen to any man. You know, and this girl that was pissed at me, I was like, yo, you better be glad that you don't have a son that's going through this. What if you had a son who was successful, who became like an astronaut or something like that, and then some hoe comes around and says, oh, he raped me like 30 years ago, like, you know, and I didn't report it because why? I'm a hoe. You know, it's just like, if something really happened to a woman, she would come forward. Like, she wouldn't wait 30 years to be like, oh, you know, this guy did something to me. You know, she would tell someone. You know I would if I was a woman. I would tell someone immediately, you know, or soon after. I wouldn't wait, you know, until there's no evidence 36 years later to do what? Nothing? That whole time? Didn't even freaking call the cops? Really? And you expect me to believe you? No. Sorry, ho. We do not believe you. But it's absolutely crazy. Yeah, Republicans better not botch this. I'm telling you, because the way the Democrats are looking right now, there's no way I'm voting for them within the next 20 years unless they do something like drastic. Yeah, but politics aside, Kathleen Kennedy, back to Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy for until 2021 or 2021 or whatever that was. What? Have you learned nothing? Have you learned nothing? That means we're getting the same crap, the same nonsense. Just boycott Star Wars. That's all I gotta say as a former Star Wars fan. Star Wars is dead. Just boycott it. You know? And you know, it's ridiculous that it's come to this. You know, it's like, I used to be an avid reader of Star Wars books, avid watcher of the saga. I used to, oh man, when episodes 1, 2, and 3 came out, I was so hyped for each one of them, especially episode 1. And people like to bash on episode 1. I loved episode 1. That was like it raised the bar so much for the rest of the episodes in terms of special effects. Lucas even said that, like, you know, like CGI played a huge part. You know, the revival of not revival, but the ascendance of CGI really played a huge part in him deciding to come out and do the prequels. And for people to be like, oh my god, like, it's who, like, honestly, who, I was not thinking anything about Jar Jar being like a Jamaican stereotype. Only a racist would see that kind of connection. Only a racist would sit there and say that. Yeah, and it's ridiculous that people gave him so much crap for that movie, and it's like, you need a comic relief. C-3PO was only going to be there for shortly because he wasn't going to come with them, So Jar Jar had to be a focus of the movie, and it makes sense, I mean, Anakin in that movie was a little bit of a Gary Stu. I mean, like, come on, like, hopping in, but he was the chosen one, So I mean, there was an explanation. I mean, it was just, like, he's the chosen one. He's the guy that's gonna, with Rey, there's like no explanation at all. Like, who, like, what, like, where did you come from? Why are you this special? With Anakin, there is an explanation. He's the chosen one. He was born of midichlorians. Yeah, and people who are, oh, well, I don't know what midichlorians are. That's they don't get the concept. Qui-Gon, I feel, does a pretty good job of explaining it. And I look at midichlorians like this. It's like a midichlorian is sort of like a gateway for people to use the Force, and he explains it surprisingly well and surprisingly short. I mean, it's like, okay, there's this energy force we can't see, right? We're not going to be able to access it by ourselves. We need midichlorians, which act sort of like a middleman between the living and the Force. And it made complete sense to me, because it was just like, how are we just gonna access it? Like access that energy force, like, and to me it made sense, but to a lot of people, I didn't like. I feel like a lot of people just didn't want to understand the concepts that he was trying to get into, and they were still stuck on their nostalgia for the first 3 movies, and their nostalgia is what basically killed Star Wars. It's got it in the state it is today, being nothing more than absolutely raping the original trilogy. And more Kathleen Kennedy is just gonna keep doing it. She's just gonna keep destroying what we love about Star Wars. We're never gonna get another Star Wars Legends like new Star Wars Legends material because we still have that gap from Crucible, the last written novel with Luke, Leia, and Han from the old expanding universe, and the Legacy era. And that's really sad. That's very sad. We're never gonna get Sword of the Jedi as long as Kathleen Kennedy's there. And I really wanted that book. I was looking forward to reading that book, and then all of a sudden I heard, oh well, Lucasfilm got bought by Disney. And I was just like, oh crap! I know what's gonna happen. And I want this chick gone. I want her gone. Lucasfilm, if you listen, I want her gone. It's all her fault, really. It all boils down to her leadership, and Rian Johnson was just like the nail in the coffin. Just, I see you people at Lucasfilm now you realize that you messed up. You realize you messed up, and then now you're trying to you messed up by rebooting the whole canon and removing everyone, all those old characters. So now you realize you screwed up, and now you want to slowly try to bring back old EU characters into the new canon. No, just do what you're doing. Try to create original characters, and see what happens. Oh yeah, that's right, you can't, because you realize that your original characters suck and they're nothing but like social justice warrior archetypes. Yeah. You probably shouldn't have rebooted the EU. You probably should have just left it alone. You probably should have just consulted George Lucas before just totally destroying everything that he made, except for the 6 movies in the Clone Wars series. I mean, you probably should have done that, but you know, what do I know? I'm just a man, a cisgendered man. Yeah, the force is female. It's absolutely stupid. But yeah. Anyway, we have these big companies that don't listen to their customers. We have guilty until proven innocent. Social justice warriors trying to enter every facet of our society, whether it's trying to block a Supreme Court nomination, or trying to infiltrate Star Wars. I mean, it gets me. The more I see this, the more I think like, the more I see these cultural Marxists, the more I think like, yeah, maybe McCarthy was onto something. The more I see all these commies and pedos in Hollywood coming out the woodwork, the more I think like, yo, maybe McCarthy was right. Maybe he wasn't crazy, and and a lot of people are seeing it too. Maybe McCarthy did nothing wrong. Maybe he was right, and we're all just being deceived. And maybe he was the only one with enough balls to do anything. Because now we see all these commies infiltrating everything. Look at Antifa. Look at your colleges. All these liberal professors, all these commies. Look at them. And social justice warriors promoting cultural Marxism. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm just totally sick of it. That's my little rant. But anyway, you guys gotta hang in there. I still believe that if Star Wars is placed in the hands of someone that cares, it'll do well. Someone that cares about and respects the old EU fans, as well as try to do their own thing. Because the only way you could save Star Wars now is either by acknowledging the EU and continuing it on its own separate timeline, and or by just completely erasing. Someone comes in who really cares about Star Wars and just completely erases everything that Disney did from official canon. And that's all I'm seeing. That's all. That's the only way I see Star Wars being saved right now. All right, you guys. Once again, I'm considering trying to get people together for a whatchamacallit, to create an animated series. I am definitely interested in trying to create an EU or Star Wars Legends, or whatever you want to call it now, Star Wars Legends animated series based on several books or animated adaptations of several EU books, whether they be 2D or 3D. I preferably want it to be 3D. I've always admired 3D animation. Beast Wars, Beast Machines, that's my jam right there. That was my childhood. Reboot. So if you or anyone you know in your circles knows someone who does 3D animation and would be interested in possibly undertaking a project, I'm going to try and start a GoFundMe. And when I do, I'll include the links in the description. If you know anyone, feel free to leave their information in the comments, or I'll provide a means for you to or hit me up on Twitter. Message me on Twitter. You got my Twitter. You'll see me on there ranting about this and that. But yeah, hit me up on Twitter or in the comments. All right, it's your boy Kos. Peace out, boy.
Raise it up.